There's a specific kind of magic that settles in when you're about to watch the finale of a show you truly love. For me, and for millions of us who fell head over heels for The Summer I Turned Pretty, that moment arrived this month. The air was thick with anticipation. My group chats were a flurry of last-minute theories, frantic all-caps predictions, and digital squeals. We were ready to say our goodbyes to Cousins Beach, to the salt-tinged air, the infinite ocean, and the tangled, beautiful hearts of Belly, Conrad, and Jeremiah. We were ready for the bittersweet ache of a perfect ending, the kind that leaves you feeling full and a little bit heartbroken, just as it should. For 3 seasons, we had been on this journey. We had debated, defended, and despaired over the Fisher brothers. We had seen ourselves in Belly's awkward, messy, and ultimately empowering coming of age. The show had become more than just a weekly escape, it was a cultural touchstone, a shared ritual. So, as the final credits rolled on what felt like a truly satisfying conclusion to their years-long saga, I was filled with all the expected emotions, a deep sense of sadness that it was over, a wave of relief that the ending honored the characters we'd grown to love, and a burning curiosity to dive headfirst into the online world of fan edits and cast interviews to prolong the goodbye just a little bit longer. It was during that final, wistful scroll through Instagram that I saw it. A post from the creator herself, the architect of our beloved world, Jenny Han. She confirmed that this wasn't really the end. A movie was officially in the works. Lola Tung and Christopher Briney were already signed on to return as Belly and Conrad. My stomach didn't just drop, it plummeted. A cold, heavy feeling replaced the warm, bittersweet glow of the finale. Seriously? After all of that, after the perfect, gut-wrenching, and ultimately hopeful conclusion, we were being pulled back in. My first, visceral thought was, is this what Susanna would have wanted? Now, before the dedicated fans of Team Jelly or Team Bonrad come for me, let me be clear, on the surface, Maudsit is not objectively bad news. The idea of returning to Cousins Beach is, in theory, a dream. But this dream comes with a nightmarish possibility that a follow-up movie could systematically undo all the profound, heartfelt work the series accomplished, leaving us with a hollowed-out version of the story we once cherished. We risked trading a perfect memory for a disappointing reality. Much of what made The Summer I Turned Pretty a phenomenon was the vibrant, passionate community that grew around it. Especially with the weekly episode drops of its final season, the show cultivated a shared experience that is tragically rare in our current age of binge-watching and fragmented streaming. It felt like a throwback, like the stories my parents tell about everyone gathering on a Thursday night to watch Friends. It was an event. My friends and I had a standing date with the Fisher boys every week. It was the beacon of light that got us through exhausting work weeks, a portal to a sun-drenched world where the most pressing issue was the cacao percentage in a wedding cake. In a world driven by endless online content, the show achieved the near impossible. It became a genuine, mainstream success that sparked weekly, nationwide discourse, much like critically acclaimed hits like The White Lotus. The series finale should have been its victory lap, the crowning achievement of this beautiful, shared journey. Instead, that shining moment was completely overshadowed by the news of its own extension. I can tell you that the movie announcement hung like a dark cloud over my entire viewing of the final episode. Every beautiful moment felt tainted with a question. Every loose end no longer felt like a poignant, realistic aspect of life but a calculated plot point being saved for the sequel. All the things I desperately wanted to see, the 4 Conklins finally together and healing, a glimpse of Stephen and Taylor thriving in their new lives, one last, heart-shattering flashback to Susanna's warmth, were noticeably absent. And in that absence, a frustrating realization dawned: these moments were likely left on the cutting room floor, not for artistic reasons, but to serve as bait for the movie. I was being asked to wait for a resolution that I wouldn't have had to if the show had simply ended, as we were all promised it would for months. It's also incredibly difficult not to view this move through a cynical lens. Let's be honest, this feels like a cash-grabbing scheme by Prime Video. SIP has been a crown jewel for the streaming service, a consistent top performer. The idea of extending its life has a certain monopoly man, $ appeal that feels cold and corporate. From a business perspective, why let a beloved story rest in peace when you can keep profiting from its ghost? Why should a streaming giant care if a movie tarnishes the show's canon, so long as it keeps the subscription money rolling in? Inevitably leads to the question that is surely on every fan's mind: what is this movie even going to be about? We have, for all intents and purposes, run out of the source material from the books. While Han has deviated from the original plot before, the core narrative arcs are complete. Belly has made her choice. The love triangle has resolved. Han mentioned the movie won't be here this year or next, and the show's stars have expressed hope that the movie will feature happy, healthy versions of their characters. There is, of course, a deep appeal to this, especially after watching Conrad Fisher suffer emotionally for 3 straight seasons. We all want to see him happy. But why couldn't that have been part of the finale? The final episode was a generous 80 minutes long, but I doubt a single fan would have complained if it were extended to 90 or 100 minutes to include a montage of that future happiness. A story, at its core, needs conflict. What new drama will be manufactured to justify a 2-hour film? The magic of the ending was in its promise of a happy future, leaving the specific details to our imagination. Forcing us to watch that future unfold risks cheapening the emotional weight of the journey it took to get there. I know myself. When that movie is finally released on Prime Video, I will probably watch it. The pull of Cousins Beach is too strong. But my heart aches at what's at stake. We have seen far too many brilliant television shows ruin their legacies because the creators and networks didn't know when to say goodbye. They stretched the story too thin, they prioritized profit over integrity, and they undid years of brilliant character development in a few misguided seasons or a poorly conceived finale. Genuinely heartbroken at the possibility that The Summer I Turned Pretty, a show that meant so much to so many of us, will become another name on that list. It was a perfect summer. Please don't let it be ruined by a fall that never needed to come.